Welcome to my lovely 5D mystics, my lovely inspiring human potential community. Now, you don't have to be a mystic, but if you're 5D, you're still inspiring humanity because you are an integrated mind. So all hands are on deck. Your left and right mode, they work together, and that lovely default mode network that every human being has is down-regulated, and so our social engagement system, that ventral vagal nervous system, without 1 day of yoga, is actually engaged. Why? Because you choose to be and stay within a unconditionally loving modality with those likes and dislikes of life. And so throughout your lifetime, or whenever it is you move into a love cycle, and out of the defectiveness shame cycle that comes from a heart, but also a body, the sensations that arise from our actual nervous system, the reptilian nervous system's response, so safety behaviors, which eventually as adults equate maladaptive responses to unresolved trauma, because it's fight, flight, freeze, which our ancestors did use when in danger with the only animals. We developed this mammalian heritage and our mammalian nervous system, which is all over our face, and then I forget, it's like the ventral vagus nerve. If you look up polyvagal theory or just ventral vagus nervous system, you'll see how far it goes. So somatics would be actually ideal for you to look into. On that note, we were able to, apparently in the timeline so far they're saying, of our human history, begin to have this mammalian heritage of ours because we became gatherers or groups, so we weren't in danger from the animals, which do still exist. Now, a 5D person is a Zen master, let me also specify, so they're really great about being their self. And because they move into a love cycle, they don't have an old self that deletes or disappears or something. No. It's called, let me look at my family of origin, and at my adaptive child responses, at my yellow and red, so when I'm in my reptilian nervous system with my maladaptive / safety responses to life, which can involve compulsive / addictive behavior, not only of sex, drugs, alcohol, or food, which the movies make look cool, but in excess, by the way, because moderation, everything, if anybody has learned about something wise, it's called moderation. I remember learning it as a kid, and I still work with moderation. I talk too much, my lovely podcast listeners, and now you get to see me as well. So in these 10 minutes that we have together, back to reptilian mammalian, where was I? Oh yes, the adaptive children who cannot hear, the 2-year-old, which is also the teenager of 4D people. Okay, so here's the deal, and on all serious notes, no Krishna Leela for a minute, go on over there, Shiva and Kali, take a step back and let me just present we get very worried about our loved ones when we see them using the negative sides of neuroplasticity. Your neuroplastic agent is called imagination, which 4D mystics do not know how to handle, because their emotional plane, which is what is being asked of them to handle when they move into what they call mystic land, and they don't move completely into 5D mystic land. That's why I did this, because they stay in 4D mystic land, and it's not any different than the Middle Ages and the medieval times and the religious institutions that label people like me depending on who you ask. Now, if they're smart people, they don't label me religious or not, because we interact, they get to know me, they realize, wow, they're a human being. Also, they know a thing or two about physics and how energy is just energy. Dark matter, dark energy. So it's not negative or positive. Now, how you use your time, your mouth, your relationships. Unfortunately, I've met a lot of very beautiful people who have used manipulation, and it's not dangerous when you actually know exactly what it means when people don't believe in themselves. That's the shame defectiveness cycle, and it can come out as shaming another human being like this, blaming, again like this, faulting like this, and revenging, meaning excusing my behavior and making up in my mind somehow that you hurt my feelings, or justifying, I'm going to deceive and hide something because I know that I really shouldn't have, but I did, but I'm not going. So long story short, there's also those who in time reveal themselves, because you know what 2-year-olds do when they actually have done something that they don't feel good about. The ones who have, unfortunately, very horrible households, they lie because they're so afraid of telling the truth that they can't. They're afraid for their physical life. Ones who instead make up excuses as teenagers, go around watching movies and just talking about a lot of hypotheticals, like how adrenaline is the best thing ever. They don't know restorative embodied self. They don't know homeostasis, our optimal human being version, by the way, which I do know. And the yoga people don't explain it well because they don't actually look into the nervous system and the embodied brain and just say, you know what, you don't have to call it an essence of life or yoga or spirituality. You don't have to call it any of those words, not because they're not beautiful words, because being a human being, actually, I can touch this right here. I can even slap me. And the machines, thank goodness for science, that have began to share with us more about this brain. Thank you, Daniel Siegel, for showing me what an integrated mind looks like and describing it, since I know an integrated mind. And a 5D mystic will actually perceive the mind that is ours as it goes through transformation from the brainstem to the limbic system to the prefrontal cortex inside. And they will know, okay, should I go get a brain scan? No, I'm coordinated, I'm grounded, it's all good, I'm sure it's all good. Not because of some supernatural entity that is pulling anything. No, this is the part of the difference. The 5D mystics, when people who are from the religious institutions look at us, because sometimes we'll use the word, they ask us what we do. I'm a content creator, online entrepreneur, but I am officially a mystic. I do tarot readings, Akashic record readings. On that note, the lovely heart of every person, we have Archangel Raphael in the 4th chakra. And if anybody's curious, this is what? So, what it is that is unfortunate is people who don't learn to be their true self. It's because they have heartbreak, gut wrench, torn apart, defectiveness, shame, unresolved trauma. So they're compulsive, addictive behaviors of any type, between sex, drugs, alcohol, food, but also clean eating, anything compulsive. The people who run all the time, the ones who get hooked on the adrenaline rush, the people who become compulsive cheaters, and that's very unfortunate. The people who use the neuroplasticity, the dark side, so imagination is your neuroplastic agent, which is why the mind that makes predictions, you want to pause it and recognize your past as a child, then get to wherever you're at and move into, it's not about people unfair, not unfair. Let me learn how to harness my emotional plane, which is your actual window, is called of tolerance. So some of us, we have a love cycle, so we don't actually feel a tsunami in our body when we go through emotions, which is why we don't do post-traumatic growth. We just do inner growth. And that's where the mindset, I talk all about it, and you guys know this. This is also why it's easy peasy for love cycle people, while others point a finger and try to say you're a demon or evil. We're like, what are you talking about? Because you use your words and you pause. I pause because you get agitated, and I'm trying to let you stay calm so that I can then figure out how we can keep talking. And then if there's no pausing, well, people who are reactive and don't believe in themselves, well, that's another story. But I have 1 minute left, so let me read to you Bruce B. Wilmer and leave you with this, since there's all these energies still about as we lead into our portal. Believe in yourself to the depth of your being. Nourish the talents your spirit is freeing. Know in your heart, when the going gets slow, that your faith in yourself will continue to grow. Don't forfeit ambition when others may doubt. It is your life to live. You must live it throughout. Learn from your errors. Don't dwell in the past. Never withdraw from a world that is vast. Believe in yourself. Find the best that is you. Let your spirit prevail. Steer a course that is true. And I'm sure he's not mystic in any way, shape, or form. And what I can tell you is a good somatic sensory motor and trauma expert can lead you down this path. Because we all will have been children at one point in our journey. Some of us as teenagers learn to do secure in our body. Unconsciously loving myself with my flaws and imperfections and following my dreams. Secure base, safe haven. So the people who are 5D mystics, Zen masters, functional adults, we support our loved ones. Compulsive, not compulsive. If they're learning about themselves, not, it's all the same. We're here to support each other to become the best version that your heart wants to live. And hopefully it's unconditional love. And that is accepting that nobody's perfect or their greatest mistake. So be kind to each other as rough seas are had for some.